He was also one of the leaders in developing something called the American Council of Otolaryngology, which was kind of the socio-economic political outreach. And the people who were in leadership at the Academy at that time didn't think that that was part of the mission of what the Academy should be. So they started the American Council, and it didn't take too long for those renegade leaders that had started that to percolate up and take over leadership at the American Academy of Otolaryngology. They even changed the name with it to American Academy of Otolaryngology-Head and Neck Surgery, which rattled some cages. And then they brought the American Council in under the American Academy of Otolaryngology, and they have basically been where the board of directors or the board of governors and stuff came from. And it was with that the AAO's offices moved out of Rochester and moved into Washington, D.C. because it became evident, because Medicare was coming along at this time, and so he could see down the road that outside influences between the doctor-patient relationship were going to be significant players, particularly as it relates to the governor and the government, and he kind of felt that he who pays the piper calls the tune, and so he could see that the social political outreach was important. And so, yeah, those big transitions happened, and at the same time the Facial Plastic Academy kind of migrated off on its own to become its own entity. He was one of the original leaders in some of the otologic breakoffs, so he saw the otolaryngology not self-destruct, but to blossom out into multiple areas with great growth that depended to some degree on that branching out. At the same time, it creates the threat of fractionation in the specialty, because in fact we are a small specialty overall, but you're going to have focused leadership to develop a program. So for me it was the facial plastic world, but for him he was otology and head and neck and facial plastic surgery. None of those things seemed odd to him, and at the same time doing research over at St. Joe's. He saw no friction between the community and the university. So in St. Paul we had the influence of Al Homan, Denny Brady, Barclay Graham, Randy Nelms, Dick Carley, who came over to Ramsey and helped us for a long time. You were essential players in it. In Minneapolis, you had Mel Siegel over at Hennepin, and then when I came along as a resident, we had Bob Rosenberg, who was a wonderful volunteer faculty. So the interaction between faculty and the community was kind of indistinct, because they were one and the same often.